crowd out here. Thinking about where this company came from in 1986 to where we're at today, he would just be beaming with pride and be excited about being part of this, and everybody that's here. First of all, thanks, especially for those that aren't used to getting up this early, making a trip. This is the first company meeting we've had since 2019. For those of you who weren't here in 2019, we try to share some results and bring up some highlights. Nothing absolutely crazy, but you know, we've got some things to talk about, information to share, just to educate you. I've always been about transparency. Anybody that's come into my office and talked to me or had questions, I've been able to tell them, you know, be able to provide information about the company, about what's going on, and my door has always been open. And this is part of that. It's part of educating our staff. We're not afraid to brag about how good our people are and how good of a job we do. So this morning we'll take 45 minutes to an hour to tell you a little bit, recognize a few people, talk about a few stories. Might take a few questions if we can, if we still have them. But we'll get started here and kind of go. I'm missing my right arm today, Miss Sally. If you could say a little prayer out there. She had to take her mother to the hospital early this morning. So I'm gonna stumble a little bit. I would be depending on her to help walk me through some of this stuff. But she helped put this together and help kind of organize this. So if you'd keep Sally and her mom in your prayers, I'd appreciate that this morning. Not to start off on a low point. Sally would be happy that we brought it up. So let's see if I can work myself through this. Unified culture. Some of you, I mean, you'll catch later this morning here a little bit. We'll talk about the Watermark services, talk about our grand plan and how we'll grow from where we are today to 5 times and 10 times where we are today almost, which is crazy to think about, but I'm telling you, it'd be crazy to think about 1986, we'd be sitting here. I mean, you can ask Betsy and Jim that have been around, or have been around for 30 plus years, probably shaking their head as I am. We're able to do what we do because of our culture, and you know, that culture's a hot word maybe, but I can tell you our culture is our personality, is who we are, what we're made of, your makeup. We talk about fit as much as anything. Is my volume all right? Am I too loud? Am I spitting? All right. I don't know. Just somebody's got to tell me. But you know, the company exists around your personalities, around your character, around your ethics. So it's nice when there's not. We talk about accountability, but I don't think we have a problem with accountability here because I think everybody owns it, and that's what allows us to do what we do for customers like Joe here and the people that we serve. So these words of positivity and teamwork and respect and commitment and care, I mean, those are things that as a management team that we sat down a few years ago and said that's what makes up our people. I mean, that is truly what it is. So it's really important to keep that in mind, and it's about you. If you'll notice, on the cards are on the table. Hopefully you've looked at a couple cards. Those are some of the customer comments that are kind of cool. I don't know how many different, there's probably 20 different types of comments on there that we pulled off of Google or through our Survey Square to where customers have responded. And we thought that if we put them on the table and you took some time to look at them and take some pride in them, and some of you might recognize they're about you or about somebody you work with, but they're about our technicians, they're about our customer service, they're about the kind of job we do for clients. So take a peek at that. Wellness, we'll talk about health insurance later, but wellness is a hot button like culture. Wellness kind of allows us to continue on to provide benefits and good insurance plans and things of that type. I think I'm gonna ask Kelly to come up. A couple weeks ago, we had a wellness survey go out. Emails, we've got to make sure, I keep asking you to keep checking your emails, field staff. And if your email's not working, you've got to come in and see your supervisor so they can guide you to Jeremy and get your email working. But there was a wellness survey that went out, when? A couple weeks ago? A couple weeks ago. And we had about a third of our people that are on our insurance plan respond. And in turn, our insurance company gave us 6 $25 gift cards, Amazon gift cards. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and give away real quickly these gift cards from the wellness survey for participating. So please continue to participate. Dusty, that's sweet.
I'll go deeper this time. Derek Burnside.
Derek.
I'm not doing very well, am I? Matt Ball.
Where you at, Matt? I saw him walk in. I'm not going to give it to you. You're going to come up and get it.
I'll meet you halfway.
Dusty, I'll let you pick the next one. Jill Metzel. Jill's about a day from leaving us for a little while. I think that's our timing's about right.
Katie.
Katie. Those of you who don't know, Katie works in our accounting department and helps us get our billing straight.
Mike Kaminis.
Last one. Mike's not going to get, he decided to give that to someone else. Thanks, Mike.
Deborah Salzberg.
All right, Deborah. She's over here to the right. Is that the last one?
That's the last one.
All right. Thanks, Mike. So please continue to do that. If your emails aren't working, we got to get your emails working. Take a look at them. Even if you're looking at them once a week, there's really important information that comes out on those. Thanks, Kelly. Thought we'd put this up a little bit because I'm not sure many people watch television anymore, and I think we should be paying attention to what we
Way through that
represent.
home projects list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Out of curiosity, how many people have seen that for the first time? How about that? That's crazy. Very interesting. But that's a commercial that's going out on local media. It's going on in Dayton and going on in Columbus, probably on some of the main ABC, NBC stuff, so some of the promotions. So we'll show you a couple more as the day goes on. Oh, see, there I go. I wanted to show you a 3-year sales history. Just to give you a perspective of what we're doing as a company, but I can tell you, Phil, tell me what we've shared with those individuals of what's happened with the year-over-year growth of the Waterworks. We 13% year-over-year for the past.
12.6.
Okay.
35 years.
For 35 years, that's what we've been able to do as an organization. So some of these numbers here. Gosh, I hope they're not too hard to see, but we thought we'd show you a residential commercial mix. We were 17.4 million before the COVID year. If you see the colors down below, plumbing and drain services, industrial, Dayton, Ohio, HVAC, excavation, and commercial plumbing. I think you'll start to recognize that I'm going to do my best to start to eliminate these divisions that we talk about and numbers, and I know our accounting department's working really hard and our management staff. We need to continue to think about ourselves as one organization so you don't see any 100 and 210s and things like that, but you see what we're doing as an organization. So in 2019, you see where we were. COVID year, 2020, outstanding. For those of you who were here, just the way we acted, the way we performed, the way we served our customers, it allowed us to grow both in revenues and in people. And many organizations, we all know that, really struggled in their ability to do that and continue and sustain themselves. But you were able to pull that off. That's pretty substantial. And then we've annualized where we are this year. So look at that jump this year on the work coming out of the COVID year. I think we focused on what we were doing and got better at, provide better service across the board, from taking the call in the customer service department to more efficient dispatching to better quality service. And that's where we're estimating to finish out here in 2021. So I want to thank everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause. Any questions on that? I'll take a question on sales right now if you want. We can come back. I think the technicians make it happen, customer service makes it happen. We do kind of have a crew of people that are following up on possible leads and going out and closing some of the information. And our estimators that are out there, Jim, Scott, Anthony, even Dan. We do some estimating in the sales staff, supervisors. This is some of the activity that we're seeing here this year in our estimating and our quotes. And so this comes from selling ourselves, talking about ourselves. So I know we kind of have a little referral program. We're kind of looking at things that way to try to make that even more about selling while we're on site. And I say selling, basically, I guess, me professionally offering our options while we're on site. But this is the activity that our estimator staff has put forth this year. Will you guys just stand up for the heck of it? James, Scott, thank you, man. Excellent work. Kenny, excellent work, excellent work. We also have a motley crew out there that builds relationships. So I thought it was important to bring up Scott, Dusty, and Ray. Those are some pictures from a couple association trade shows that we participated in, and sharing the word about what good service and what good products we provide to our customers. And there are a couple highlights there. These guys have got metrics, goals to reach each year, expectations to meet. Scott guides them through the process and participates. And through October, new account sales generated, you'll see it's over $500,000. One thing that's hard to do in our business is grow our business with existing customers. And the reason why that's hard is because a place like Villa Milano's might need a boiler today. Well, they're not going to need a boiler next year. So to continue to grow existing business takes a lot of effort, takes us spreading the word about all the services we have. And we hope that, and we know, not we hope, we know that the crew out there talking to some of the decision makers, Scott, Dusty, and Ray, help make that happen. And so we've been able to grow that 9%. And we talk about 12.6 or 13% annually. That 9% is a lot. Because I always feel like we have to replace about 25 or 30% of our business within those accounts, and yet we expect them to grow. So these guys have made that happen. Ray just getting coming out of the field with most of you guys on the industrial side, and getting out there, understanding the process of customer relationship, building customers. I've sold 50 new service agreements. I don't have a dollar value on that right now, but just to sell 58 new partner agreements is pretty good, Ray. Great job. Dusty's just blown the doors off this year. You know, it's kind of like a rookie baseball, football player coming in and finding their way and then breaking through. And but you see what Dusty's done, 178% of his goal. He's out there hitting the bricks. He's selling all of our services. Really helped Todd and his crew get to the levels by opening some doors there, building some relationships. And we got to thank Dusty for the effort there. Thanks, Dusty. Some of the new commercial accounts we picked up, we just thought we'd list there. Those are some pretty big accounts. Some of them we haven't had for years. They've left us for someone cheaper or someone cut a deal with them, and our consistent pursuit of going after customers like Coda and Casto. I don't think there's a Columbus Airport on. Yeah, Columbus Airport. And just steady, consistent service, exceeding their expectations and doing better than anybody else in this town helps us get to that point. So, great job by all. I wanted to revisit this. We talk about our peer awards, and I think this is very important to recognize the employees we work with. We have fair participation. Once again, this is kind of an electronic thing. It's the best way we can come up with to get this out, but I really think it's important that you take the time when you see the note come out about voting on your peers for the employee of the quarter within these areas. And I just wanted to revisit those people that got acknowledged, not by me, not by the management, but by the people that they work with. And I just want to revisit the first, second, third quarter, and then we have the fourth quarter winners I'd like to bring up here today. So this is the first quarter, just to bring that back up. So you'll see the admin people in the blue. You're going to see some repeat winners there, which just talks about the respect they've got amongst their co-workers. You're going to see some new people. That crew. And then the fourth quarter came through the other day, and we've got some new people. If these people would come up here, I'd appreciate it. Deborah, Tanner, and Todd, Adam, Rick, Nathan. Kent, Tom, Adam, top here. Great help. Deborah's behind you, Rich. I want you to stay up here for a picture if you don't mind.
Smile pretty, boys. Rich, you should have put your head wax on this morning.
Let's get up and over on this side here. We'll get a picture real quick. I think we'll get a picture. I think I know Dayton, because we don't have the volume right now. I think it's going to change coming in 2020. But I know Mike's team of Steve and Chris and Mike have been making the decisions in Dayton. And I think it's really interesting and exciting to see Nathan Floyd, who came over to us from Atherton Plumbing, and you'll hear about Atherton a little bit later, gets acknowledged by that. Congratulations, Nathan. The Elizabeth Betsy Dickerson Award for Excellence. Betsy, how many years ago was it you retired?
I retired 2014,
2014, and when did you start with the company?
1990.
1990, come on up. So at the time we decided that we wanted her legacy to continue on with our organization, and Betsy, like many people did in the 80s, 90s, and even today, did everything. Betsy did customer service. I'm sure she rode on a truck with technicians and helped. Yeah, I know. You did dispatch. She did collections. She retired as our CFO. She was president of the Waterworks at one time during her era too. And we felt that we wanted to continue that on. So we felt that the words of dedication and teamwork and dependability and service just represented everything Betsy always brought to the table. And so we wanted to continue to carry that on. And that was an administrative type of role. I mean, you guys get your sales levels and get recognized in that. So the people in the blue, we've always put forth that you had to be a peer winner during the year to be recognized, to be a potential candidate for the Betsy Dickerson Award. And this is one time where the managers, my leadership team and myself participate, and we decide out of the four in the blue whom we felt deserved the Betsy Dickerson Award for 2021. and the group decided that Lindsay Prosser Lindsay's a bit of a duo herself. I think if it needed to be done out there in the field, she'd be hopping in a truck and going out there herself too.
I got a shovel.
She might use it on you, be careful. Lindsay and that crew back there help organize things and do a great job of balancing and moving things around. We know in today's world we have more customers, more opportunities, more service than we can handle, which is really a different environment. Back in when Betsy talked to me, we would take calls. Everything we took today, we could do today. The world's changed, the market's changed. We want to continue to provide great service, and it takes a lot of logistical balancing that happens between customer service and dispatch. And everything I've heard is a respect given back to the crew from the field is extraordinary, and I think that's what helps make us successful. So I don't know what slide's next. Oh, that slide's next. All right, safety. I think we've all had in the field a pretty much good understanding that safety is important. I think we've paid a fair amount of attention to it, unintentionally maybe. And we decided that in 2021, we decided this really in 2019 or 20, that we need to start to consider to really put a heavy focus on safety with over 100 people in the field and the kind of equipment we work with. It's just part of caring about our employees and our families. I mean, if these guys get hurt at work, it affects everything. It affects your ability to make an income, it affects home life. And so safety has got to be an important piece. And we decided to take someone with over 30 years of experience and the willingness and the desire to take on a new role that involves a lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of study, and place Derek Burnside into that role. Derek, stand up so everybody gets to see you. So you're going to see Derek more often. He's working on foundational things. We'll share a couple things he's done, but some of the things just to share that are important to see and to realize where we stand right now. You'll see that 26 days of work in 2021 been missed because of some type of injury. And I'm sure you guys know who you are. This is a field thing for the most part. Traditionally, it's a field thing. It can be an administrative thing. And 144 days of limited duty. All those things affect our ability to perform, affect the ability to make a living and be able to continue and sustain the life and the income that your field guys are used to working with. So pay attention. That's what Derek put together, and with some help from Kelly, some interesting stats just to pay attention to. And I think we probably all nod our head, those that have worked in the field and realize that sprains and strains, that's a back, that's a shoulder, that's a knee. But this is a 4-year history. So, it looks big, but even in 4 years, if it was 4 back strains, 4 employees that had a problem or of injury because you rushed, because you didn't use the lift, because you didn't use the ramp, because you just tossed stuff up in there, that's how those things can be impacted. But you see our focus, and Derek realizes that, and we'll continue to focus on things that make our trucks safer, that make our practices safer. But we were talking as a group the other day, and we said we just have to keep talking about the same thing. It's a repetitive. We can put the policy out, we can give you the tools, but we have to keep talking about the same thing. And that talk has got to start with me. It's got to go down to Tom and Brad and Todd and Mike. It's got to go to the supervisors. Everybody needs to be talking about it. And it's going to get repetitive, but it should be repetitive because you want it to be natural. You want your habits to be natural. I'll use another sport analogy. I mean, they talk about Bill Belichick as being one of the New England Patriots, being one of the best coaches there are. Well, Bill Belichick coaches to the point where these guys are never surprised on the field. So you can never be surprised. Let's try never to be surprised when we get on jobs. Let's prepare better. Derek's going to help us get there and go through that. A couple other by body part injuries. Eyewear. We've all got eyewear. We just can choose to put them on, be in the right habit of that. But just some interesting information there to share. Experience modification rating. We are the blue line right now, and the orange line is the line that we need to perform below. This affects our ability to bid on jobs. This affects our ability to afford reasonable workers' comp premiums. This is all affected by days lost, by injuries, by frequencies, by near misses, and so forth. So these things not only affect our individuals and our families, it affects the entire organization. So safety is absolutely important, and we're going to continue to build and grow on that. These are a couple things on the left side of the screen that we've done this year that Derek has led in his practices and some of his research. We're trying to focus more on that. And then we've got some things that'll be coming up here in the next few months, next half a year. So just a couple things for that. Little story on Derek. Derek and I first met one another probably in 1986 at the Double R Company. So he and I, we've got a long-standing relationship there, being in the trade and making mistakes and doing the wrong things. So we understand, Derek understands. That's how I think he's a great representation for that position. So listen to him, pay attention, share information. Some of you have already been identified as committee members. We do probably need one or two interested committee members from South, maybe. Okay, so we're going to get good representation. We'll continue to formalize that process. COVID-19, we talked about the practices, the memos, the drafts of policies. I felt like I lived COVID-19 practices, policies, mandates for a year, and it's still present and ever-changing. But I feel like there's a couple things. Greg and I were talking last night. I think we've got a couple things that are white elephant in the room, and if you're not educated, then this will be good also to know what's out there in our industry that's affecting our industry. So there was a federal mandate that was put out. I'm not going to get into actual policy numbers and things of that type, but I think a lot of us in the field have heard about the OSHA vaccine and testing mandates that are right now held up in the courts on an injunction for employers of 100 or more. That's a process that we're watching every day. Kelly's watching, Greg's watching with our legal team and paying attention to that. So that's something that's out there. If you haven't heard about it, we're an employer of 100 or more. So we're paying attention and trying to continue to be educated and identify how it's going to impact us. The other thing that was out there that was supposed to be effective, I think it's 12/6 actually, I think it's on Monday, was the CMS rules. And for those of you who've got spouses or family members that work in the medical field, that was a rule that was put down once again by the federal government, requiring that all workers that work in medical facilities with Medicare must be vaccinated. And it's also trickles down to, you see the word vendors. We're a vendor of those medical facilities, Children's Hospital, Mount Carmel Hospital, Grants, Ohio Health Facilities. This mandate has also got held up in the courts just last week for Ohio. And we're doing preparation to do what we need to do as a company just to have guidelines in place. There's a certification and a testament of compliance that myself as an officer of the company have to validate that if we continue to do work, this is what this number 2 says, continue to do work at those facilities. If this gets implemented, that we will provide only vaccinated employees. So that will be the challenge that's going to be thrown in our lap at this point. How we will comply, I don't need anybody out there coming up with how we're going to comply, because we don't know how we're going to comply. We're watching it, we're paying close attention. You've got to trust us that we're going to do what's best for the company, what's best for the benefits of our staff, continue to make this the best place to work, and keep everybody healthy. So we're watching this. There have been no decisions made, so if we've got a little bit of scuttlebutt, we're going to do that. I can tell you that nothing's been decided, because nothing's been solidly implemented. I want to make sure, I'm going to ask my lead guy here to make sure if there's anything else I should hit on. Greg? No other key points. It's a hot button. It's been a hot button forever. We've had to adjust to masks and gloves and glasses, and I mean, think back what we did in April, May. We had gloves and masks, and we were wearing glasses in to go change a faucet. We've done an amazing job. We can work through this. We will work through this, but it will have some effect on our organization. So, but wait for us. We'll communicate to you. We'll clearly communicate to you. But nothing's been locked and loaded. Any questions that I might not be able to answer? Good. I just asked for a couple things on water cooler talk besides COVID. One roof. Some of you may have heard or may not have heard. In Columbus, we are on a diligent search to get all of our staff under one building. Under one building means we're looking for a 40 or 50,000 square foot warehouse on about 5 to 7 acres of land. There's not much of that exists, and in a serviceable area. But I can tell you we're looking. I'm excited about it, because I think the more we communicate with one another, the more we're around one another, just the better off we're going to be, and the more we're going to be able to build this organization. But we're in that process. I hope it happens in 2021. That would be wonderful. But we're looking hard. That is our goal. We're going to get ourselves back together under one roof like we were, in 2005. I don't know. We had to change for some different reasons then, but we're working on that organizational structure and getting ourselves back together, and I think it's going to be great. A couple things that have happened that I want to make sure we hear, because we're not reading everything, is in the past month or so, Tanner Adamson has been promoted to controller of the waterworks for the company. Tanner, stand up so everybody can see who you are. Cedric, you're not Tanner. Getting in the way of the picture. Tanner's done a tremendous job helping us come up with best practices, more analytics, ideas, and thoughts to share with guys like myself and Tom, and working directly under Marcus and Brad and Mike. He's part of the teaching practice that we go through every month as we evaluate our performance, and I'm as excited as anybody as to have Tanner continue to contribute. Good job, Tanner. Brad Shepard. Come on up, Brad. Brad's been with us for 15 years this month. How about that? I have a concern, because in the last month or so, I've heard there's like nicknames for some of our trinkets we give out, and I don't want to talk about them, but I think it's pretty special to be getting an award for being an organization for 15 years or however many years. For those of you that are in our apprenticeship program, just for the heck of it, how about all the guys that are in the apprenticeship program stand up?
Come on, Webb.
All of you. We've got 24, stay standing. 24, stay standing. Even the short guy gets to stay standing. We've got 24 guys in this program, 24 people, years 1 through 4. I just wanted to have you stand because Brad Shepard was in an apprenticeship program 15 years ago. Brad Shepard's one of our up-and-comers. You see the organization he's running, the company he's building, the services he's doing. So if you think you're just grinding it out and having to pull a jackhammer and be the first man or second man on a job, just take a little look over your shoulder to Brad and realize that he's running what will be this year probably a $7 million company and be an integral part of running a $25 million company. So don't forget it. You got great opportunity. Thanks for participating. I don't have an award for this person, but I still think the number's pretty special to look at. Art Pierce. Where are you, Art? Stand up.
He's old. Come on.
Stand up. 35 years, Art Pierce. So let's see. The Waterworks was founded by Mr. Havens in 1986. Come on, salespeople. 86 to 2021. How many years is that?
35.
That's 34, isn't it? Art Pierce was here a year before the Waterworks was here working with his uncle, and that's a fact. So I think that's really special, Art. Thank you very much. Thank you. Laura Lyle's been with us for 5 years, coming up 5 years, and she's retiring here. I don't know if it's next week. It might be next week, or it is at least this month. Laura's been in our accounting department. She's done a little bit of everything over there, from billing to receivables to assisting with payables. And I know the team that she works with every day will miss her greatly. And I just want to make sure, I know most of you don't know who Laura is, especially down south or in Dayton. But I did want to recognize Laura for her time with the Waterworks, and I hope she loves retirement. Laura? She's in the back here. Thanks, Laura. We've got I always try to encourage us to take on a little bit of a philanthropic theme at the end of the year. And we've got a little coat and glove drive going on for neighborhood bridges. Today was supposed to be the end of it. And Sally said, well, that's the last day. I said, well, I think they'll still take coats and gloves from us next week. So I would ask that if this weekend you can go home and if you can find a gently used coat or some gloves, bring it into the office Monday and we'll make sure it goes to the organization. We've already had some participation there, but I think it's good for us to give back in different ways. Last year and a half, it's been a little tough for us to give back. We've had group functions and have done projects before. I think we'll start to kick that in here soon again between Habitat Houses and the soup kitchen and things of that type. And I look forward to providing those opportunities again. I know it gives me a lot of fulfillment as one of the leaders in this company, and I know the people that participate, I know you get a lot out of it. So if you get a chance, take a look at that. I'm guessing nobody has seen this either, since most of us haven't seen the other one.
Life always moves forward through both the good and not so good days. And on those not so good days, it's nice to know your day is about to get a whole lot better. With great service, technical expertise, and one happy customer. All that and a brand new look too. The Waterworks.
A little pumping
Better
right before
care,
they went out.
better value, better results.
So we've all got some nice swag today. You see a refreshed look, a refreshed image. We're slowly bleeding that out into the company. I don't know if that's the right word, it's the word I used, so I'm stuck with it. You see the trucks are getting changed, you see fresh commercials, you're going to see fresh print media, and I want to make sure I acknowledge and thank the marketing team for the work they put in, because this doesn't happen in like 4 or 6 weeks. this takes about a year and a half or so to really get into a path to make that transition. And Miss Jean Nemetti led that crew. Jean, thank you very much for taking us there. I appreciate it. I think it might be time, for John Havens to come up and talk a little bit more about Watermark. We shared this in memo form, I think mid-year, talked about the direction and the growth of the organization as a whole. And John is one of the general partners. You see John here today. John, for those of you who don't know, is Tom Havens' son. John is one of the general partners. Phil Nick is the general partner of our leadership team and part of where we're able to grow and the benefits and the opportunities we have. And Greg Chelap in the back, just observing from afar and taking everything in, is also one of the 3 general partners. But I'm gonna let John handle it from here and talk about the direction of the company and what's going on and opportunities, and go from there, John.
So that's a hard act to follow. And I will try to be brief as humanly possible to get you guys out of here on time. Sorry, computer problems. All right, so as most of you may or may not know, I've been around this company since 1986 when I was 3 years old. I've known Art practically my whole life. And it was never my intent to get re-involved with it. But since we have been in this last year, it's been one of the most rewarding and fulfilling experiences I've ever had. It's been really remarkable getting to know everybody again. And kind of brief introduction for those who don't know, Greg Chelap in the back has been on kind of the legal side of plumbing, drain cleaning, HVAC companies for over 2 decades. When this opportunity came to really kick Waterworks' growth into high gear, he's from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, was a partner in a law firm there, quit his job, has been commuting. Hopefully his house in Columbus will be done sometime next month, so feel free to pull him to the side and pick his brain and give him a hard time and give him a good welcome. Also Phil Nick, who is actually my uncle, joined us in this quest too. Phil has a wealth of experience in private equity and fundraising, and so they're really kind of spearheading our efforts to take what we do so well and do it in more places for more people. That's all we're trying to do. And in that, also Kelly and Marcus have been kind of doing more work with us on the acquisition side. And so we've currently bought 2 companies in the last 3 months, which is an incredibly fast pace. So first, A. Atherton Plumbing, down in Dayton, been around since 1958, stellar reputation, second generation business, and kind of the only reason we were able to get together with them was because of our reputation. We both do things the same way. It's customer first, it's employee first, and so they've been a great kind of addition to our family. It's been a little difficult running, 2 different companies out of 2 different buildings that are only, 15 miles apart. And I know Mike has been busting his hump down there. So thank you very much, Mike. And for the folks from Atherton today, yes, absolutely. He kind of got thrown into the fire in this one. It happened way quicker than we thought it would. And he's been doing a stellar job and getting, the nice thing is they do mostly residential work, so it's a really nice fold into all the commercial work we have down there. And so we're really looking forward to helping this brand grow alongside us. Second is our first acquisition outside of Central Ohio. So the Plumbing Source started in 1985 in Cleveland, Ohio, Bedford Heights, right outside of Cleveland. Guy Greg Faustina started it. And was referred to us, knew our reputation. You guys know that this industry is kind of like, I call it a West Virginia mountain town. Everybody knows everybody, and if you're screwing people, everybody knows it. And so they were talking with somebody else. Greg was thinking about retiring and didn't like how things were going and reached out to us, and we were up there that afternoon and were able to get something done. His right-hand man, Tony DiNardo, actually started there when he was 18. Learned the trade there, has been there for, 35 years? And so you might see him around the office too. We're kind of working on mentoring him so he can really take that place and grow it. He's a very soft-spoken guy. You can definitely tell he's from Cleveland. He's got that accent, but really great guy. So if you happen to see him around, give him a pat on the back, pick his brain. Great plumber, great guy, and really fits in with our culture, what we're trying to do. And so, speaking of culture, when we first started talking to you about this new plan, right, we're going to go outside, we're going to raise money, we're going to expand our footprint, and that rising tide's going to lift all boats, right? It doesn't just benefit us, it benefits everyone in this room and all the people that are joining the family. And we don't want that just to be lip service, and it's not. And so I think the first thing we sat down and said, okay, what can we do now that will really help make us a best in class, make us the best place to work? And one thing we heard a lot about was health insurance. You know, the monthly premium digging you every month, it comes out of your check, and it can be a big number, right? So what are we gonna do? We're gonna cover 100% of it starting January 1st. So for every employee, if you are on our health insurance, we will cover 100% of the premium. None of that is gonna come out of your checks any longer. We wanna be a company about you and your families. That's what was always most important to my dad. Oh, I forgot to say, the only reason Dad isn't here today, he had cataract surgery yesterday, so he looks like a pirate. It is laid out and not allowed to move. He had his follow-up appointment this morning, so he was really bummed out, but that's the reason. But this is a hard job. This isn't easy on your body. And we want to make sure that you guys are taking care of yourself and taking care of the customers. And we can't say that in good conscience if we're not taking care of y'all. So this is just the first step in what we're going to do. So 100% of every employee. We're going to cover 75% of all of your dependents, wife, children, whomever. This isn't to say this is where it'll stop, but this is what we can do today. So this is all, like I said, this will all start January 1st. And what does this mean in dollars? So there's your weekly savings, right? An employee, typically it's $41 a month or $41 a week that comes out. That's going to zero. That means there's an extra $2,100 in your pocket. Obviously, we'll have a memo going out. There's a lot of fine print involved. Like there's still, if you smoke, we got to ding you a little bit. I smoke, so I get dinged. I'm well aware. But it'll explain everything in full detail. And Kelly and I are working on putting that together, and so we'll have something out for you. So this is just kind of a quick and dirty, back of the napkin, what it means to you and the impact for you and your families. Because first and foremost, this has to be about family, right? And that's what's always been so important to my dad. That's what he impressed on me. That's why we're here. That's why we're the largest in Central Ohio, and pretty soon to be the largest in the Midwest, hopefully. And so this is some of the stuff that we're gonna be rolling out. We're not gonna stop here. In the next year, we wanna look at our 401k program and improve that. So that'll be the next big thing on the docket. And one thing that's come out while we've been looking at all these companies to acquire is our reputation, our apprenticeship program, our market presence, our facilities are all best in class. And that's why people are coming to us. We haven't solicited a single company to buy. They've all come to us and say, no, we want you to buy us because we know you're gonna take care of our people. And we can't say that in good conscience without taking care of all of you guys first, because this is where it started, right? And so I get the cool part to tell you guys about this. And I hope it's impactful for you and your families. Also, please don't forget, we are currently in an open enrollment. So if you're not on insurance, hop on, now's your time. When does it end, Kelly?
The 12th.
The 12th. So it opens tomorrow morning. So hop on in. We're thrilled to be able to give you this. I feel kind of bad. I get the cool part from David. But just know we were all involved in this, and we really care about you guys, and we hope this shows it. In closing, because like I said, I want to get you guys out of here. You've been sitting for a while, and I can tend to bloviate, and I'll be up here all day. The one thing my dad always impressed on me, it's like, you remember last year in the midst of the pandemic, not all heroes wear capes, that thing, you know, you're talking about healthcare workers and frontline workers. Nobody ever talks about the plumbers and the drain techs and the HVAC techs and what we do. We are responsible for two major things. We take care of somebody's largest investment, their homes and businesses. Without us, those don't work. You know the real difference between a first and a third world country? The ability to get clean water and clean air into your house, and bad water and bad air and waste out of your house and disposed of safely. Really what we do is protect the health of a nation, right? We're what makes it work. You can have all these grand ideas of a society, but really it's what's underneath that keeps it all running. And I know this sounds overblown, right? Kind of like BS, but you are heroes. From the second that call comes in, to the person doing the work, to the person doing the billing, none of it works without all of us doing that. And our society as a whole doesn't work without us doing what we do. And so you should all be extraordinarily proud of this trade and of this company and of what we're building. And as we move forward and as we bring more people into the family, we only hope to improve this place, make it the best possible place. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I really do truly mean it. You guys are heroes, and never lose sight of that. So with that, that's all I got. I'd like to be short and sweet. Thank you all so much. And as always, my door's open, Phil's open, David's open, Greg's open. Bug us with anything. We're here for you guys. So thank you all. David? The shortest you've ever heard me talk.
How about that? I mean, no BS. We've been talking about being the best place. You guys gotta sit and start ticking things down of why you like to work here, why this is the best. We will continue to listen and identify and provide the things we can provide and still be a sustainable business. What John didn't tell you is we're trending to $23 million right now. We are expecting the waterworks to grow in the next 5 years to be about $34 million. We're talking about acquisitions and such. We're expecting acquisitions to be upwards into $100 million. Where we're gonna have a company meeting in 5 years, I've got no idea where we're gonna do this at. I guess we'll be down Nationwide Arena or something, which would be cool as hell. I think that'd be great, so keep that in mind. To end, before I get into this, John's got a drone. I want to make sure everybody takes a moment. We're going to have to be quick about it. We can't lollygag around. I want to get in the parking lot. I want to stand in front of the parking lot with all of our equipment out there and make sure he gets a nice shot of everybody while we're here together. We don't get together that often. It's been 2 years. So we're going to make a quick sprint out of here when we end. And let's get set up for a good picture. John, if you can get the drone set up outside, that would be great. And then we'll get you out of here and move on. The month of December, we just got some things going on. I want to, sometimes we put these postings around. I hear people don't see them, so now's a chance just to look. So kick off. December 6th, we're going to feed you. I know we don't get enough food anyway, but there's going to be a day where we're going to have breakfast. There's going to be a day where we're going to have box lunches for everybody. Just kind of keep your eye on the schedule. And I think we've also got a vendor that has been giving us 8-foot subs for about 20 years too. They'll be participating. December 12th, for those of you who don't know, it's not too late, at least that's what I'm gonna say. Family night at the Columbus Zoo, the Zoo Lights. We've got a pavilion. We'll have hot chocolate and cookies, so a little break. I don't know what the weather's gonna be like if you've never been up there. Even as if you don't have kids, it's a cool place to walk around. If you've got kids, it's really cool. So please reach out to Sally if you want to get in it. But I want to tell you, reach out today or this weekend, drop her a note. December 13th, we'll have some type of gift. Everybody will get some kind of tear off, and you'll see the list, and you're going to see, well, I've got number 2, and number 2 might be. That's what I was afraid is going to happen. So somehow this cord is not comparable, but I can wrap up. Luckily, I got there. Missed one TV commercial. December. Told you I wasn't going to be able to survive without Sally. But we're going to have a gift week. So everybody here will receive some kind of gift. It might be a $5 gift certificate to Roosters, and it might be a big screen TV. So you'll see that kind of come about. This is the time of year that their managers evaluate performance, and we take a look at the desire to distribute bonus monies. The bonus monies that have been earned, evaluated by your managers, and some of your performance metrics will be distributed on Friday the 17th. So you'll be able to keep your eyes open for that. And then this year, like we've done in the past, we've got a floating holiday. Christmas falls on Saturday, New Year's falls on Saturday. We've given the management, the leaders of your departments, the latitude to work with you to create a floating day in between that. So you will get a paid holiday sometime the week before, the week after. Even though you don't work on Saturday, we're going to allow that floating holiday to happen both those weeks. So we've given the latitude. So another give there for those who aren't working on those days. Any quick questions? Don't be afraid. If I can't answer, I'll tell you I can't answer. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know.
I will give you that.
I do want to welcome, we kind of had to do some goofy stuff here to get everybody here, and I'm so stoked that the group was here. So you need to know how the people from Dayton got here. It sounded like, it could have been a little risky, but they came in a 24-passenger van to be able to get down here for this meeting today. And I know that wasn't easy. That involved a little bit of earlier timing, but I think it's very important. I thought it was very important that they were here. The new group of Atherton staff, all but Debbie Atherton herself, are here, and they've never seen our operation in Schrock Road. They're going to roll from here to Schrock Road and kind of buzz around Schrock Road, so welcome them there. But I can't say enough. Let's wrap up the year safely and on a high note, and thanks again for everybody. So let's be as quick as we can to the parking lot so we can get a good group picture.